Hello, good morning students. In last session we discussed about the shape, size and arrangement of bacteria. Now today we have to discuss about the importance of cell shape, cell size in rods and cocci. Okay, that means if these organisms they are very smaller in size, that means they are measured in micrometer, and as they are having small size and shape, their significance is also in the growth and development of these organisms. That means when they are cultivated in laboratory, they require small space, they require less nutrient. Okay, means such a type of there are some importances due to their cell size, shape and their arrangement. Okay, so prokaryotes vary in size from cells as small as about 0.2 micrometer in diameter to those more than 700 micrometer in diameter. That means generally these organisms they are measured from 0.2 micrometer, that is the smallest one, and the 700 micrometer which is the biggest one. Okay, the vast majority of rod shaped prokaryotes that have been cultured in the laboratory are between 0.5 and 4 micrometer wide and less than 50 micrometer long. But a few very large prokaryotes such as Epiloseacum Phiselsoni are huge. That means this organism is having bigger size with cell longer than 600 micrometer, and that is 0.6 millimeter in size. Okay, when it is measured in micrometer it is 600 micrometer, and its conversion into millimeter, that means near about 0.6 millimeter is the size of this organism. Now this bacterium phylogenetically related to the endosperm forming bacterium, that is Clostridium, and found in the gut of the surgeonfish, is interesting not only because it is so large but also because it has unusual form of cell division and contains multiple copies of its genome. Okay, so multiple offsprings are formed and are then released from Epiloseacum mother cell. A mother cell of Epiloseacum contains several thousand genome copies, each of which is about the same size as the genome of Escherichia coli, that is 4.6 million base pairs. Okay, the many copies are apparently necessary because the cell volume of Epiloseacum is so large that a single copy of its genome would not be sufficient to support the transcriptional and translational needs of the cell, and that's why there are number of copies of these genome they are present in this organism. Okay, so cells of the largest known prokaryotes, the sulfur chemolithotrap Thiomargarita, can be 750 micrometer in diameter, nearly visible to the naked eye. That means we know that we can observe the things which are bigger than 200 micrometer, and now this size, that is 750 micrometer, is bigger than the 200 micrometer, and then we can observe these organisms by naked eyes. Okay? Understood. Although for sulfur bacteria a large cell size may be energy source, it is hypothesized that problems with nutrient uptake ultimately dictate the upper limit for the size of prokaryotic cell. Since the metabolic rate of cell varies universally with square of its size, for very large cell, nutrient uptake eventually limits the metabolism to the point that the cell is no longer competitive with smaller cells. Suppose there are two organisms we are growing in the medium which is having 700 micrometer and one is having 0.2 micrometer size. Who will require more nutrient? That means the organism who is bigger in size that requires more nutrient as compared to the 0.2 micron size of the organism, and also the bigger organism they require this more space, but these smaller organisms they occupy in a very less volume or less space. Okay? So very large cells are not common in the prokaryotic world. They are only up to 700 micrometer. That means below that all the population of microbial world or prokaryotic world that is having size lesser than that. Okay? In contrast to Thiomargarita or Epiloececum, the dimensions of an average rod-shaped prokaryote, the bacterium E. coli, for example, it is about 1 into 2 micrometer. These dimensions are typical of most prokaryotes. That means length and width. Okay? Here Escherichia coli is 2 micrometer in long and 1 micrometer in width. That means 1 into 2 micrometer in size, and generally majority of the organisms they are present in these dimensions. For comparison, average eukaryotic cell can be 10 to more than 200 micrometer in diameter. Okay? In general, then it can be said that prokaryotes are very small cells compared to eukaryotes. Surface to volume ratio, growth rate and evolution. There are significant advantages to being small. There are different significances are there as they are these bacteria they are in small, or there are significant advantages to being a small. Small cells have more surface area relative to cells volume than do large cells. That is, they have higher surface to volume ratio. Okay? That means here is, if there is the organisms which are very small, then the volume or surface and volume ratio that is different for different organism. But if organisms are very small, then they get more surface area. Okay? Consider a spherical coccus. The volume of such a cell is a function of the cube of its radius r, while its surface area is function of the square of the radius, that is the pi r square. Okay? Therefore, the surface volume ratio of spherical coccus is 3 by r. Okay? And as a cell increases in size, its surface volume ratio decreases. To illustrate this, consider the surface volume ratio of some of the cells of different sizes. Then Plaguivactor ubiqui, that is 22, Escherichia coli 4.5, and specific diagrammatic representation of the surface volume ratio. The surface volume ratio of cell affects several aspects of biology, including its evolution. For instance, because cell's growth rate depends, among other things, on the rate of nutrient exchange. The higher the surface volume ratio of the smaller cells, support a faster rate of nutrient exchange per unit cell volume compared with that of the larger cell. See, here is the, suppose this is the organism, okay, and here the radius, that is the 1 micrometer. That means the surface area, that is the pi r square, is equal to 12.6 micrometer. Okay, so the volume, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube, the size or radius of the organism, that is 2 micrometer. Then here the surface area, that is 50.3 micrometer, and volume, that is equal to 33.5 micrometer. Okay, so surface volume ratio is equal to 1.5. That means if the organisms, they are very smaller, or if the organism having small size, it get more surface area, it get more nutrients, and there is a more space for the growth and development of these organisms. But if the organism is bigger in size, then what happens? There is a less volume, or there is a less surface area for that organism. Okay, so because of this smaller between the bigger organism and smaller organism, time for the reproduction is about 9 months. Okay, but when we compare it with the bacteria, for example Escherichia coli, there is a reproduction. For the reproduction in human being, it requires 9 month period, but when we compare it with the bacteria, it is a 20 minute only there is a reproduction that will be takes place. Okay, so and given amount of resources, that is the nutrients available to support growth, will support a larger population of cell than of large cells. That means nutrient requirement of small organism is very small. Okay, and if the organism is bigger and that organism requires more energy, more nutrients, and that's why if the organisms, they are smaller in size, then small amount of nutrient, they are sufficient to grow for large population. Okay, now how can this affect evolution? The size of bacteria, how that can affect the evolution? We know that there is a evolution, that means there is a development of each and every living things that will be takes place through the period of these years. Now each time cell divides its chromosome, replicates. As DNA is replicated, occasional errors they occurs, and these occasional errors, they are called as mutations. Means during copying of the information, that will be affected due to the errors, and these mutations, they are responsible for the evolution. Okay, so because mutation rates appears to be roughly the same in all cells, large or small, the more chromosome replication that occur, the greater the total number of mutation in populations. Mutations are the raw material of evolution. The larger the pool of mutations, the greater the evolutionary possibilities. Thus, because prokaryotic cells are quite small and are also genetically haploid, allowing mutation to express immediately, they have in general the capacity of more rapid growth and evolution than larger genetically diploid cells. In the latter, not only is the surface volume ratio smaller, but the effect of mutation in one gene can be masked by the second, that is unmutated gene copy. These fundamental differences in size and genetics between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells underline the fact that prokaryotes can adapt quite rapidly to changing environmental conditions and can more easily exploit new habitat than can eukaryotic cells.